distances. 200, he's able to get up to speed and then use it. He can get up to speed, but he can't really use it in the 100. Look out for this man. We are going to see big things from him in the future. And we're going to shift gears in a major way now, back up to our 3,000 meter for our novice girls run.
And it is another big field here. We'll have Ainsley Sherwin, Asha Nazarowitz, Lila LaBelle, Chloe Wilson, Riley Daniels, Alexandra Pardalis, Lauren Daw, Grace Vandergreent, Avery Van Will, Mila Carlton, Audrey Daou, Amelia Bagnall, Senna Chan Carasone, Megan Pinot, Sydney Picard, Haley Sebesta, Kate Nagy, Kiana Charret, Alexis Elkins, Grace Malcolm, Ella Garon, Bridget Malcolm, Candelaria Grass, and Kensington McCormick. That is the start list for this novice girls 3,000 meter final, and we saw a little bit of movement on the start line, so the starter will bring the competitors back up. We'll reset.
On your marks.
And we are underway. So another big group here in the 3,000 meter race. And as they cut inside, it's, I believe that might be Kiana Charret. No, excuse me, that is Alexis Elkins. Who goes out to our early lead. And she's built up quite an early lead here.
Elkins was 6th yesterday in the 1,500 meter final. And she knows that she is up against some fast runners behind her. Taking a page out of the book of some of our earlier 3,000 meter championships, trying to see if she can establish a big enough gap that can't be overtaken. We saw her run so bravely in the heats and the final of that 1,500. She employed a similar tactic, Adam. And I think that these athletes, I commend them, especially at the novice age, for knowing themselves so well. Saying, I know what my current toolkit is. I can expand on it in the off season and in years to come. But right now, my best shot at putting myself in the mix here is to run hard from the front and see what unfolds behind me. That's exactly what our early leader is doing. Elkins, again, like I said, she was 6th yesterday in the 1,500 meter. And some of it comes down to, like I said, just testing the water, seeing if anyone wants to go with you. Elkins was 9th at the OFSAA Cross Country Championships in the fall. And the interesting story is developing behind her because we have two athletes who have decided they don't want to let her get too far ahead. Charret is in that pack. So too is Nagy. So this is going to make for a very interesting race because right now our three medalists from yesterday's 1,500 meter final are our top three athletes in the 3,000. Charret came away with the gold, Nagy the silver. And I'm sorry, Carswell was the bronze yesterday. Elkins 6th, but Elkins wanting to turn that 6th into a medal spot.
So here they come. It's Elkins, followed by Nagy, followed by Charret. And they're through the Opening kilometer about 3:15. So that's the same split we saw in the junior girls race through 1 kilometer.
Well, 3:13 I had, Adam. And that would put them at that would put them sub 10, which would be very impressive. So once again, our leader Elkins really taking things out. It's so hard to do this by yourself from the front. This was something I could never find the courage to do. I was always a sit and kick runner, even in the distance races. I found that as the event got longer, it became harder to do that. You really have to maintain some contact. Right now, our chasers are starting to make moves. This is what's so challenging about being up front by yourself is you're doing that work. First of all, not being able to have the advantage of, information gathering of what's happening behind you, but also you're working completely by yourself. Even though Nagy is in the lead right now, Sheree is right with her, and she will benefit from that momentum of her competitor. These two are about to come up, I think, in the next half lap. Unless Elkins can throw in a surge, they're about to come up on our leader. And this was another lesson taught to me by my coaches. When an athlete comes up on you, you have to go with them. This is part of the keep up, don't catch up mantra that was instilled in me from such a young age. And I wasn't always able to employ, but certainly worked to my advantage when I could.
OFSAA record 9:43.59 set 8 years ago by Cameron Ormond. And Kate, you're right so far. Well, they haven't made the move yet on our leader, but they are continuing to squeeze the distance between them shut.
Should mention that record by Cameron Ormond, an exceptional time. And also Cameron Ormond, the only athlete in OFSAA history to win every single cross-country title that she can. So all 4 years of cross-country, Cameron Ormond came away the victor. And a strong competitor both south of the border and within Canada. So another name to add to the list of those that get their start at OFSAA and go on to incredible things. So we are half a lap away from our 2 kilometer split. They went through 1,000 meters in 3:13. And everything has slowed. I'm so impressed by our leader Elkins, though, because she has sensed for about a lap and a half that she's got some potential company behind her. She has not relented. She's not given up a stride. In fact, I get the sense that she's just kept that foot on the gas a little bit to make it as hard as possible for Nagy and Sheree to come around her. Again, those two medalists yesterday in the 1,500 meter. They're working as a unit at the moment to overtake our 6th place finisher in that event. And as they approach the 2,000 meter mark, they'll be about 6:45. So they have fallen off. 6:45 through 2,000 meters. That will put them right around 10:07, 10:08 for a full 3,000 meter race.
As you mentioned, Kay, they opened at 3:13, so they have fallen quite a bit off that opening pace. But if they had maintained their 3:13 kilometer pace, we would have seen a new OFSAA record. They were very quick on the opening kilometer. And this trio leading the way still as they mix around the order.
Well, and that's what's so interesting to me, Adam, because as Nagy went around, Sheree was with her for the majority of this chase. And yet, this is what we saw from our leader, Elkins, yesterday in her 1,500 meter races, is that she meets the challenge every time. So Nagy came up on her. Instead of Sheree being the one to follow around and pass and leave her behind, as we would often see, it is Elkins who's decided to try to match the challenge. Now, I think that effort might just be building a little bit too much. This is such a tough part in this race. She's put in so much work. All three of these athletes have a little look behind there by Sheree. Sheree will be buoyed by the fact that she has now passed third and has eyes set up on Nagy, her longtime pace buddy in this race. Now a competitive group of three with Nagy, the clear leader. And we'll see what they have over the closing meters of this race. They're coming up on 1 lap to go. And so Nagy will hear that bell at 8:48 on the clock.
So Nagy has pulled away from that lead pack. She's a lead pack all on her own right now, and she continues to stretch out the top three on the back straightaway. Seems to have found an extra gear here on the final 400. As she has her sights set on the novice OFSAA title here, the 3,000 meters. Lapping a few athletes and down to the final 200. Kate Nagy from Newmarket High School.
Well, Adam
Turnover
Silver
still
as a
strong.
cross-country athlete in the fall, and now making her way towards an OFSAA title. Pure focus and determination out into lane 2. Trying to give herself the clearest path to victory, and she is going to do it. Nagy will come across as the winner of this novice 3,000 meter race. 10 minutes, 0.57, ever so close to breaking that 10-minute mark. She knows it's within her wheelhouse under different circumstances, but this is championship racing. The medals matter, the places matter, the performance was superb.
So it's Sheree across for silver, 10:07.37 for her, and Alexis Elkins, the bronze medalist, 10:11.27, a finish time for her.
It's a lot of laps to stay focused. It's a long time to maintain composure. And again, I love the 3,000.